Hello guys, a very warm welcome, a very good evening to all of you. So बड़े दिनों के बाद आज हम मिल रहे हैं, आपकी याद आई है आज. It's long time I think we have met in a live session. But I think it's the right time. We are all gearing up for SEBI. So I think this is the best time we could meet and do some great MCQs, do some really quality MCQs and check the level of our preparation, gauge the level of our preparation. I hope everybody is ready today. है ना, फोड़ देंगे आज, देखते हैं कौन टॉप मारता है, who gets 20 out of 20 today. It's going to be a very interesting session. We have picked some really good MCQs from a certain portion of your finance paper. That's basically primary and secondary markets, bonds and derivatives. Right. So let's wait for another 1 minute and let more people join and then I'll start the session. नहीं तो क्या होता है ना, लोग बीच में स्टार्ट करेंगे, सर पिछला क्वेश्चंस दिखा दीजिए, कितने क्वेश्चंस हो चुके हैं. सो आई वंस अगेन वेलकम. आई कैन सी लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स saying good evening. Hi everyone. I hope your preparation is going great. रोहित गुप्ता कह रहे हैं दिल से थैंक यू टू द होल EduTap टीम. थैंक यू वेरी मच. वी आर हम्बल्ड. ठीक है गाइस, शुरू करते हैं आज का सेशन. लेट्स मेक इट अ फन वन. सो व्हाट वी विल डू इज वी विल डू अराउंड 25 to 30 MCQs. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छे से करेंगे. I will explain you whatever is the logic behind that MCQ and there would be a timer on your screen for every MCQ. Try to attempt that MCQ. I think even in a less time than what the timer shows. Timer is of 1 minute. You shall be able to attempt, I would say, not more than 30-40 seconds. That is what you will get in the exam. So the first question is on your screen. A bond is a fixed income instrument that represents a loan made by an investor to a borrower. Bonds are used by companies, municipalities, states and sovereign governments to finance projects and operations. A bond is a type of which kind of security? Bond is a debt, equity, quasi-equity, swaps, options. बहुत अच्छा, हलवा क्वेश्चन है ये तो. Come on guys, everybody answer. I want everybody out there to answer this question. This is a very easy question. This question is that bond is what kind of instrument? Bond is a debt instrument, right? We all know bond is a debt instrument. The answer is option number A. See what happens in a bond if you are new to this. A company who wants to raise money, who wants to borrow money will issue bonds. Say Reliance wants to raise money, Reliance will issue bonds and these bonds which Reliance is issuing will be bought by the investors, right? So investors will buy bonds from Reliance, they will give money to Reliance. So in a way Reliance is taking debt from the investors. That's why it's a debt instrument. I hope it is clear. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. थोड़ा क्वेश्चन ये गलत है बट स्टिल. अ बॉन्ड इज अ टाइप ऑफ अ डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट. जनरली व्हेन बॉन्ड प्राइसेस गोज अप यील्ड गोज डाउन. थोड़ा उल्टा होता है वैसे. यील्ड गोज अप एंड देयरफॉर बॉन्ड प्राइसेस आर इंपैक्टेड. बट व्हेन बॉन्ड प्राइसेस गो डाउन व्हाट मूवमेंट विल बी सीन इन इंटरेस्ट रेट्स? Actually, it happens vice versa. Interest rates move and as a result of that, bonds prices move. But anyways, if you know the relation between bonds and the interest rates, you will be able to answer this question. When bond prices go down, how will the interest rates be impacted? Interest rates will remain unchanged, will fall, will move sideward, will rise, none of the above. Bond prices go down, interest rates. What is the relation between them? Come on. Yes, I can see a lot of people. Some people are answering it as A, some are answering it as B. See, when bond prices go down, interest rates will rise. Or actually, vice versa will happen. When interest rates rise, bond prices will go down. Okay, so the answer here is option number D. Okay, these are the relations that you need to remember, guys. These are the three relations that you need to remember. When interest rate increases, yields will also increase. Yield is what? Yield is kind of a return. If interest rate on FD is increasing, then yield on bond will also increase. So there is a direct relation between yield and interest rate. then price of bond is inversely related to the yield. When yield goes up, say you bought a bond, the buying price of the bond is 1200 and the maturity is 1500 rupees. Now to get more return, when the yield goes up, it means when you want more return, this price has to go down. Here you will getting a 300 rupees return. When the price goes down to 1100, you will get a 400 rupee return. So for yield to go up, for return to go up, the price of the bond has to come down. So price of the bond is inversely related to the yield. And price of the bond is also inversely related to the interest rate. This you can deduce from statement B and C itself. Because when interest rates increase, yield increases. And when yield has to increase, bond prices has to decrease. So price of bond and interest rate are inversely related. अब ये तीन relations याद रखेंगे, समझेंगे. I can assure you, you will be able to do at least one question in the exam. चलिए question number 3 पे आते हैं. You have to identify the bond where no coupon payments are made, but instead these type of bonds are issued at considerable discount to the par value. Right? What type of bonds these are? ध्यान से कीजिए. Perpetual, console, subordinate, superior, none of the above. Come on guys, let's see who can answer this. You have to identify the type of bond in which no coupon payments are made and the bond is issued at a discount to the par value. The answer is very easy. The answer is none of the above. Right? No, the answer is not superior bonds or perpetual bonds. Perpetual bonds are the ones which have no maturity, Console bonds are also like perpetual bonds. That is an alternate name for perpetual bonds. Subordinate bonds is like a subordinate debt. So here answer is none of the above because the answer here is zero coupon bonds. It is zero coupon bonds in which you do not give any coupon payments and they are issued at a discount to a par value. What do we mean by at a discount to a par value? Suppose the bond maturity price is ₹1000. This is what you will get at the maturity at the end. So they will be issued at a discount, say ₹900. So you will buy at 900, you will get nothing as a coupon payment. In the end, at maturity, you will get 1000 and this 100 is your return. Right? This is zero coupon bond for you. Next question. If an investor further invests all the coupon amounts you receive at the same rate of return as of the yield, then you will get more return. Such a yield is called what? So basically, when the coupon payments that you get are also invested at the same rate of the yield, such yield is called what? Such yield is called what? Come on guys. Let me open this session on my mobile also. I'm not able to see your comments from here. Come on, सारे इसका आंसर देंगे. Fine. So the answer to this is yield to maturity. देखिए एक बात समझिए, ये क्वेश्चन आपका प्रीवियस ईयर में भी आया हुआ है. द यील्ड टू मैच्योरिटी दैट वी कैलकुलेट, आई एम रियली सॉरी, आई एम नॉट फीलिंग वेल, सो आई विल कीप कफिंग इन बिटवीन, बट माय एनर्जी विल नॉट बी लो. When you calculate yield to maturity, the assumption is that the coupon payments that you get, those will be reinvested at the same rate as your YTM. That is the assumption in YTM. That the coupon payments that you will get till the maturity of the bonds will also be reinvested at the rate of YTM. आपने 10 साल का बॉन्ड खरीदा, आपको पहले साल कूपन पेमेंट मिली. अब उस कूपन पेमेंट का ये नहीं है कि आप जाके शॉपिंग कर लेंगे या कुछ कर लेंगे. द assumption is that coupon payment will be reinvested at the same rate as a YTM. That is the definition of YTM. तो आपको क्या मिलेगा? YTM ही मिलेगा as per this question. चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ये explanations I'm already giving you, so I'm skipping that slides. You can read these explanations if you want to read later through the PDF that we will be sharing on the Telegram group. चलिए न्यूमेरिकल है, बहुत आसान है ये, न्यूमेरिकल एग्जाम में आ सकता है. You have to calculate the annual yield to maturity. Par value is $1,000. 10 years is the maturity. Coupon rate is 10%. And current bond price is 1297. And it is semi-annual. Please note this down. You have to find the YTM, annual yield to maturity. चलिए देखते हैं इसका आंसर कौन देता है. कॉमन टेक योर टाइम बट डू कैलकुलेट दिस. अगर आप ये क्वेश्चन कर लेंगे देन स्टैंड अप वेयर एवर यू आर, स्टैंड अप, गिव अ पैट ऑन योर बैक दैट यस आई डिड दिस, डू लाइक दिस. मुश्किल नहीं है, डूएबल है, बट कैन यू डू दिस? I can see only one person has answered this. Nilesh Suryavanshi. How come he has answered this so fast? So answers have started coming in. Very good. Yukti, Kaushik, Vinayak, Amit, Niket. Very good, guys. Very good. Those who have answered this within 1 minute, I'm proud of you. Just stand up on your seat. Give a pat on your back that yes, I can do this. I'll clear SEBI. Have a feeling like that. देखिए ये क्वेश्चन आप तभी कर सकते थे अगर आपने न्यूमेरिकल्स में थोड़ा बहुत प्रैक्टिस किया है एंड यू नो द शॉर्टकट्स. दिस कैन नॉट बी सॉल्व्ड बाय अ ओरिजिनल बॉन्ड फॉर्मूला, द बॉन्ड प्राइस फॉर्मूला. दैट वुड बी रियली लेंथी फॉर यू. ठीक है, ये नंबर्स याद रखिएगा. फेस वैल्यू 1000, कूपन रेट 10%, बॉन्ड प्राइस 1297, मैच्योरिटी 10 years. देखिए ये बॉन्ड प्राइस फॉर्मूला का एक शॉर्टकट होता है. ठीक है, रिमेंबर दिस फॉर्मूला. YTM, कूपन इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट प्लस फेस वैल्यू माइनस मार्केट वैल्यू बाय n, फेस वैल्यू प्लस मार्केट वैल्यू बाय 2. अब कुछ भी दिया हो आप इससे मार्केट प्राइस भी निकाल सकते हैं, आप इससे कूपन इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट भी निकाल सकते हैं. दैट डिपेंड्स व्हाट इज आस्क्ड इन द क्वेश्चन. अब इस क्वेश्चन में व्हाट इज द कूपन इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट? वी आर गिवन 10% ऑफ 1000, राइट? सो दैट वुड बी 100, बट इट इज सेमी एनुअल. सेमी एनुअल है तो 50 रुपए होगी, क्योंकि आपको हर 6 महीने के बाद मिलेगा, साल के बाद नहीं. फेस वैल्यू इज गिवन टू बी 1000, मार्केट प्राइस वाज गिवन टू बी 1297, राइट? दिस n was 10 years, but this is semi annual, so the time period would be 10 into 2, that is 20. Time period would be 20. Put these values, right? 50 is your coupon interest payment plus face value 1000 minus market value 1297 divided by 20. Then this whole divided by face value plus market value divided by 2, 1000 plus 1297 divided by 2. The answer would come out to be 3%. आप calculate करके देख लीजिए. The answer would come out to be 3%. But since this is calculated assuming 51, this is calculated assuming semi-annual return. So my original return would be double of this, that is 6%. The answer is 6% approx. ठीक है, ये अप्रॉक्स आएगा हमेशा. द एक्चुअल आंसर माइट बी डिफरेंट, बट अगर एग्जाम में आपकी ऑप्शंस हैं 5.8, 5.9, 6, 6.1, तब आप इस शॉर्टकट पे नहीं रिलाई कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज द ऑप्शंस आर टू क्लोज. बट द ऑप्शंस आर लाइक 4, 6, 8, 10, देन यू कैन रिलाई ऑन दिस फॉर्मूला. तो इसको अच्छे से समझ लीजिए. यू कैन फाइंड एनीथिंग विद दिस फॉर्मूला. आपको सिर्फ वैल्यूज पुट करनी रहेंगी क्वेश्चंस को समझ के. ठीक है, चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. मजा आ रहा है तो टाइप कीजिए, आई एम रियली एंजॉइंग इट. मजा आ रहा है तो प्लीज टाइप, आई एम रियली एंजॉइंग इट. lot of more questions to go. An investor buys a bond for 1060 and keeps it for 1 year, during which he receives an interest of 110 from the company. At the end of year, the bond is disposed at 1065. Find the holding period return. Find the holding period return. गाइस क्वेश्चन कीजिए. पंजाब में इलेक्शन है या यूपी में इलेक्शन है, बाद में देखेंगे. अभी वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर टेकिंग इनटू अकाउंट दैट 20th Feb इज द डी डे. चलिए, ये तो बहुत आसान न्यूमेरिकल है. आई होप एवरीबॉडी हेयर वुड बी एबल टू डू दिस. What you have to find is the holding period return. Very simple. आपने 1060 का कुछ खरीदा, एक साल के बाद आपने उसको 1065 का बेच दिया और आपको 110 रुपए इंटरेस्ट मिले. बहुत आसान है. इसका आंसर होगा गाइस ऑप्शन नंबर बी, 10.85%. हाउ डू यू कैलकुलेट दिस? वेरी इजी. ठीक है, मैं इसके फॉर्मूला पे भी नहीं जाऊंगा. देखिए आपको टोटल रिटर्न कितना मिला, 110. यू गॉट इट एज एन इंटरेस्ट. 5 रुपीज यू मेड इट एज अ प्रॉफिट, एज अ कैपिटल एप्रिसिएशन. आपने 1060 का यू बॉट इट, यू सोल्ड इट एट 1065. सो द टोटल रिटर्न व्हाट यू आर गेटिंग इज 115, राइट? And your investment was 1060, so 115 divided by 1060, I'll get my answer as 10.85%. As simple as that. ठीक है, इसमें कोई बहुत सोचने वाली बात नहीं है. नहीं हो रहा है, so that's an eye opener for you. ऐसे न्यूमेरिकल्स की आप प्रिपरेशन करके जाएं प्लीज. These can be asked in the exam. These are not tough numericals. Basic formula based numericals हैं ये. Let's come out of the next question, guys. आप ये क्वेश्चन पढ़ लीजिए. I'll just have a sip of water, otherwise my cough will go bad. बताइए आप इसका आंसर. Read this question and tell me the answer. The term derivatives is used to refer to the financial instruments which derive their value from which type of asset. Come on यार, जल्दी जल्दी दीजिए आंसर. आप तो बहुत स्लो दे रहे हैं. बिल्कुल सही गाइस. इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर सी. I can see some people are answering it as intangible asset. Option number B. I am not sure from where they are trying to guess this answer because it is one of the easiest question if you have studied derivatives. तो इसका आंसर ऑप्शन नंबर सी होगा, अंडरलाइंग एसेट. देखिए डेरिवेटिव्स में जब भी हम ट्रेड करते हैं देयर इज अ अंडरलाइंग एसेट. एग्जांपल देता हूं, ध्यान से सुनिएगा, यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. सपोज कीजिए एक फार्मर है. अ फार्मर इज प्रोड्यूसिंग पोटैटोज. A farmer thinks that after a month his potatoes would be ready to be sold in the market, but he is fearful that the rate of potatoes today is rupees 100, rupees 10 per kg, and after 1 month it might be rupees 6 per kg, right? So but he can't sell today, but the price can decrease in future. So what he can do is he can enter into a futures contract where he will say that I'll give my potatoes after 1 month at 9 rupees per kg. So he has fixed his price right on today, right, for the future. So here the underlying is what he is trading. He is trading in potatoes. ऐसे ही आपके पास कहीं से गोल्ड आने वाला है और आपने वो गोल्ड बेचना है. आपके पास 1 महीने के बाद आपकी दादी आपको कुछ गोल्ड देने वाली है कि ले मेरा राजा बेटा, ये ले 10 तोले की चेन. आप उसको बेचकर एक कार लेना चाहते हैं. अब आपको डर है कि 1 महीने के बाद the price of gold is going to decrease. So you can enter into a futures contract saying that I will sell my 10 tola gold for this rate which you can fix today, so that you are not in tension कि 1 महीने के बाद क्या रेट होगा. बड़ा गिरा कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, आपका रेट फिक्स हो गया. What are you trading? Gold here in futures. The underlying is gold. ठीक है, चलिए. I hope you understood the meaning of the underlying. The underlying is something, the base subject on which the futures forwards are being done. Question number 8 बताइए. चलिए जल्दी, come on. When you trade in derivatives over the counter, there is a risk that the other party might not pay you back the profit. Such type of risk are categorized as what? Market, interest rate, counterparty, legal or compliance risk. कम ऑन गाइस, जल्दी जल्दी। ये बहुत आसान है। सी दिस इज ऑल अबाउट दैट यू हैव एंटर्ड इनटू अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नॉट थ्रू एक्सचेंज बट डायरेक्टली। ठीक है, एक्सचेंज से नहीं गए हैं, डायरेक्टली हैव एंटर्ड इनटू अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट and after 1 month you were into profit, the other person was into loss, but he did not fulfill his obligation. He said that I'll not pay the amount, भाड़ में जा। That kind of risk is what? That kind of risk is counterparty risk. Counterparty risk. Counterparty मतलब जो आपकी counterparty है, the other party with which you have entered into the trade, that party defaults. ठीक है, so याद रखना इसका आंसर है counterparty risk, ऑप्शन नंबर सी। चलिए क्वेश्चन नंबर 9। Ram and Shyam enter into derivatives contract. Ram thinks price will decrease. Ram is entering into an obligation to sell shares and Shyam thinks the price will increase. Shyam is entering into an obligation to buy the shares. In this regard, identify the correct statement. Basically, you have to tell me that who is going long in futures and who is going short in futures. जल्दी जल्दी बताइए गाइस, कम ऑन। You need to have a clear idea here about the going of long and short in futures. आपका यहां पे जो आंसर आएगा, since Ram is thinking price will decrease, he is assuming the price will decrease and he wants to sell shares, it means Ram is going short in futures. And Shyam thinks the price will increase, so Shyam is going long in futures. So answer is option number C. ये simple फंडा आपको याद रखना है guys futures में. Whenever you think that the share price is gonna increase, that is you are going long. Whenever you think that the share price is going to decrease, you are going short. ठीक है, so Ram is going short and Shyam is going long in futures. चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, देखते हैं ये कौन करता है। Identify the individuals who bets on the derivatives market based on his views on the potential. He is not actually interested in buying or selling shares, but carries out the trade in anticipation of making profit. आसान है, देखिए here you need to differentiate what type of participant it is. It is a hedger, speculator, profit maker. What kind of this party is? ये पार्टी के पास कुछ शेयर्स नहीं है, बस इसको लगता है कि मार्केट ऊपर बढ़ेगा गिरेगा, तो उस चीज को यूज करके दिस पार्टी वांट्स टू मेक प्रॉफिट. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ ट्रेड इज बीइंग डन हियर? The trade that is being done is speculation. Answer is option number D. अब ध्यान से समझिए, अगर आपको स्पेकुलेटर्स और हेजर्स के बीच में फर्क नहीं पता है, अगर आपको स्पेकुलेटर्स और हेजर्स के बीच में फर्क नहीं पता है, ये सुनिए, जिंदगी भर नहीं भूलेंगे. सपोज आपको आपकी दादी माँ 10 तोले की चेन देने वाली है, नहीं देगी तब भी एज्यूम कर लो यार, आपकी दादी माँ इज गोइंग टू गिव यू अ 10 तोला चेन इन नेक्स्ट 30 days and you are fearful that the price will decrease by the time you get that chain. Therefore you enter into a future contract and as per that contract you have agreed to sell that chain at some rate which is decided today. Here you are hedging because you have already going to get something, you are fearful that the price of that thing will decrease, you want to prevent that risk of price of this thing being decreased, therefore you enter into a contract, you are hedging, you are preventing your risk. On the other hand, एक और बंदा है, उसको कोई चेन वेन नहीं मिलने वाली है, पर उसको लगता है कि इसका प्राइस फ्यूचर में बढ़ सकता है, तो बोलेगा ठीक है, कि उसको लगता है कि आज प्राइस 100 रुपए है, फ्यूचर में 150 हो जाएगा, उसको लगता है, उसको कुछ इधर उधर से मिलना नहीं है. He will enter into a contract that in future I'll buy it at 110 because he is sure, he thinks that it will become 150. He agrees to buy it at 110 and then he assumes that he will make a profit of rupees 40. ये क्या है? Speculation है. You are not preventing any risk. You are just speculating. You want to make further profit. ठीक है? That is called speculation. Hedging is where you have to prevent your risk. समझ आ गया तो टाइप करके बताइए यस समझ आ गया है, ठीक है। नहीं समझ आया तो आई विल एक्सप्लेन इट इन द एंड वंस अगेन, मुझे टाइप करके जरूर बताइएगा। क्वेश्चन नंबर 11, सिंपल क्वेश्चन है यार। द प्रॉफिट और लॉस दैट यू मेक इन द फ्यूचर्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज कॉल्ड एज व्हाट? पेइंग ऑफ, पेई ऑफ, पे ऑफ, पार्शियल ऑफ, नन ऑफ द अबव। The profit or loss that you make in the futures contract is called as what? Paying off, pay off, partial off, none of the above. भाई ये जिसने क्वेश्चन बनाया है शायद यहाँ पे बस मतलब पे का सारा कुछ बना दिया है, पे, पेई, पे, पार्शियल, पी नहीं लिखा है, शुक्र है, पी डबल ई, कहीं ये ना लिख देता पी ऑफ। बहुत आसान है गाइज, इसका आंसर पेइंग ऑफ नहीं है, इसका आंसर ऑप्शन नंबर सी है, पे ऑफ। द प्रॉफिट और लॉस दैट यू मेक इन फ्यूचर्स इन अदर टर्म्स कैन बी कॉल्ड एज योर पे ऑफ, ठीक है। तो मुश्किल नहीं था, बहुत आसान क्वेश्चन है ये। मुझे अभी भी इस पे हंसी आ रही है वैसे, बट एनीवेज। सो अभी 11 क्वेश्चन हो गए हैं। जिन लोगों के 11 में से 9 है या 10 है या 11 हैं, जिन लोगों के 9 हैं या 10 हैं 11 हैं, वो जरा टाइप करें और मुझे बताएं दैट यस वी विल क्रैक सेबी, नो डाउट अबाउट इट। जिन लोगों के 9 हैं, 10 हैं या 11 हैं, वो प्लीज लिखें दैट वी विल क्रैक सेबी, नो डाउट अबाउट इट। करेंगे हम, और मेहनत करेंगे। चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, टाइप करके जरूर बताएं मुझे। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, you have to identify the agreement where agreement takes place between two parties to exchange the sequence of cash flows for a set period of time. हम करते हैं ना, जब हमें करेंसी रिस्क प्रिवेंट करना होता है या फिर इंटरेस्ट रेट रिस्क प्रिवेंट करना होता है, तो हम एक कैश फ्लोज एक्सचेंज करते हैं, एग्रीमेंट में एंटर करते हैं। The answer here is swaps. Very easy, guys. ठीक है. So whenever we want to prevent our currency risk or interest rate risk, we will pre-decide the cash flows that we will do with another party, say over the next 5 years or 10 years. That is called swaps. Right? चलिए, question number 13 is on your screen now. When one enters into an options contract, one needs to pay only around 16% or 20% as upfront money to enter into the contract. This partial payment is known as what? Upfront payment, partial money, less money, margin money, payment kind. When one enters into the options contract, one needs to pay only around 16 to 20% of the upfront money. This partial payment is known as what? Come on. Guys, I need more participation. Everybody, there are more than 100 people in this session now, almost touching 120. But I don't see 120 answers coming up. At least make some intelligent guesses. Even if you don't know the answer, try to make some intelligent guesses. Yes, really good. I can see a lot of answers coming up. The answer is margin money. I'll explain this logic. Just listen to it carefully. Suppose you enter into an options contract, right? And the value of that options contract is rupees 1 lakh. ठीक है. Now, if your luck is there, आपकी दादी माँ का आशीर्वाद होगा, maybe the movement is in your favor, 5% in your favor, you will earn 5,000 because you invested 1 lakh. But अगर बद्दुआ होगी दादी माँ की तो 5% मार्केट डाउन भी जा सकती है. The movement might not be in your favor, then you might make a loss of 5,000. So what they do is that when you enter into a contract of 1 lakh, they will not demand the entire money. They will say that give me some margin money so that your losses can be taken care of. Suppose you give a margin money of 20,000. You give a margin money of 20,000. So when you make a loss of 5,000, this would be deducted from here and this will become 15,000. Then further you have a loss of 5%. Further 5,000 would be deducted and this will become 10,000. Right. So like this, your losses would be deducted from here. So at no time you can say that I'll not pay my losses, because they have already taken upfront money from you known as margin money. So if you face losses, that would be deducted from here. And the moment this money becomes very less, say it becomes 7,000, right, or whatever is the figure decided by the stock exchange, the moment it becomes very less, they will ask you to deposit more money. Otherwise, they will end your trade there. Right? अब ये भी तो हो सकता है ना कि आपको 5,000 करके you are already in a loss of 18,000, only 2,000 is left. Stock exchange will not take that risk. They will say that deposit more money or we will close your trade right now. Right? Question number 14. Identify the type of options contract wherein option contract gives the owner the right but not the obligation to sell, not to buy, to sell at specified amount of underlying security. Buyer of this contract believes that price of share will decrease over time. You have to identify the options contract where the buyer gets the right, not the obligation, to sell. Call option, put option, double-sided option, embedded option, or none of the above. Very good guys. I can see some really good answers, some really fast answers, some really intelligent answers. The answer here is put option. I'll explain you call and put option. Please listen to me. Suppose the share price today is rupees 100 and you believe that the share price is going to increase to 150. That is your belief, that is your assumption. You will say that I'll buy a call option, right? That in future I will buy these shares, I will have the option to buy these shares, say at rupees 120. So here in call option, you will pay some premium to the other party, say some rupees, and you will say that give me the option to buy the shares in future at 120 because you think it will reach 150. This is a call option. So if price becomes 150, you will buy at 120 because you have the right. But if the price is say 105 only, it doesn't reach 120, then you will not buy. Why will you buy at 120 when the price is 105 in the market? So here you will have the right, not the obligation to buy. Similarly, the price is 100 and you think the price will reach 60. You enter into a contract where you tell the other party that I will have the right, not the obligation, to sell at 80. That I will have the right, not the obligation, to sell at 80. So if after a certain time the price is 60, obviously you will use your right. You will say that, okay, I want to sell at 80 because now the price is 60. In the market, the price is 60. You can sell it at 80. You are getting benefited. So you will exercise your right. But say the price doesn't reach 60. In fact, it remains at 90. Then why will you sell at 80, right? Because in the market, you are getting 90. That is a put option for you, where you get the right, not the obligation. Obligation means you do not have to do it mandatorily, only if you feel so. You have the right. That is a put option. चलिए, I hope you are able to understand this. अगर समझ आया है तो please type yes in the chat window and let me know. Depository receipts are financial instruments that represent shares of local company but are listed and traded on stock exchange outside the country. DRs are issued in foreign currency, usually dollars. But when DRs are listed on a stock exchange in USA, they are called as. I hope you all know what depository receipts are. The question is, when depository receipts are something that are listed on USA stock exchange, they are called as what? Are they called as GDRs? Are they called as IDRs, BDRs, ADRs, or none of the above? जल्दी बताएं guys. This is one of the easiest question and this has been asked in previous exams, I think at least 2 times. ये आपको आना चाहिए. Take your time and let me know. The answer here is ADR, American Depository Receipts. Now try to understand this. Let me explain this for you. Suppose Infosys has shares listed on Indian Stock Exchange. Now, as per Indian laws, Infosys cannot list its shares on US Stock Exchange. But what Infosys can do is Infosys can deposit some shares with the depository receipt. Infosys can deposit some share with the depository receipt, right? Not the depository receipt, the depository. And this depository will then be in touch with the US depository. So both these depositories would be in sync, and US depository will make sure that Infosys has kept its share with the depository, and these shares now are issued as depository receipts to the US investors. तो Infosys ने अपने कुछ शेयर्स को ताले में रख दिया और US डिपॉजिटरी को बोला कि ये मेरे शेयर ताले में है, आप इसकी जगह you issue some depository receipts to the US investors. This is called American Depository Receipts because they are being issued to US investors. अगर ये US में नहीं, यूरोप में कहीं मैं करूं, these would be known as global depository receipts. So when they are in US, they are called as ADRs. When they are in any other country apart from US, they are called GDRs. Right? So the answer here is option number D. Question number 16. Question number 16, guys. In the stock markets, you have to identify the kind of special public offer which is used by companies to provide stability to the price of the share in the secondary market immediately on listing of shares. Cohesive option, stability option, green shoe option, yellow shoe option, control option. I can see people answering it as option number C. I think that's right. The answer is green shoe option. What is green shoe option? In green shoe option, basically what companies does is suppose company has to issue 100 shares in an IPO. Company has to issue 100 shares in an IPO. In green shoe option, they will have the leverage to issue 15% more. Instead of 100, they will issue 115. Right. So the money that they will get by selling these additional 15 shares, that would be later used to buy the shares from the market if there is decline in the price. So company had say permission to issue 100 shares, but under green shoe options they can issue 115 shares, 15% more. The money that they will get by issuing these 15 additional shares, that can be used to buy the shares from the market later after the IPO if the price declines. Suppose these were issued at a price of 50. After the IPO, the price starts to decline, immediately comes to 40. Then the money that they would have got by issuing these 15 additional shares can be used to buy the shares from the market, because when the price is going down, it means the demand is low. So they can basically create more demand by using this money, and they can make the price more stable. They can make the price more stable. अब पेटीएम ने ये किया था नहीं मुझे नहीं पता, but I think when the share price decreases like anything, it's a free flow, then even green shoe option cannot help. Right, then even green shoe option cannot help. Right, and this intervention is done only for 30 days. So whatever money you have got by selling additional shares, using that money under green shoe option, the companies can provide stability. The companies can buy shares in case price goes down only for 30 days from the date of IPO. ठीक है, क्योंकि वही एक पीरियड होता है जहां पे कंपनीज को डर लगता है कि काफी इंस्टेबिलिटी ना हो, द प्राइस माइट नॉट डिक्रीज टू मच, सो फॉर दोस 30 डेज दे विल प्रोवाइड स्टेबिलिटी. दैट इज कॉल्ड ग्रीन शू ऑप्शन. समझ आ गया है तो सेशन को लाइक जरूर करें. राइट, क्वेश्चन नंबर 17 गाइस, एंकर इन्वेस्टर के ऊपर है. I'll read the last line so that you know the question. The anchor investor would be a qualified institutional buyer, can allot up to what percent, यहाँ पे allotted आएगा, can be allotted up to what percent of quota for QIBs. Anchor investors होते हैं those who can buy shares even before the IPO provided they invest minimum of 10 crores. ठीक है, हम आप नहीं कर सकते हैं. Anchor investors are those who can buy the shares even before the IPO provided they invest minimum up to 10 crores. The question is that they are allocated shares out of the quota for QIBs, qualified institutional buyers. The question is that anchor investors can be allotted up to what percentage of the quota allotted to QIBs? 15%, 45, 60, 50, 65. So a lot of people are saying the answer is option number B. No, the answer is not B, neither it's D. The answer is option number C, 60%. Right. So the answer is 60%. So I hope you have understood the meaning of anchor investors. Anchor investors can be allotted shares only out of the quota for QIBs. Out of that quota, whatever is for QIBs, anchor investors can be allotted maximum up to 60% of that. Maximum up to 60% of that. And anchor investor is that investor which invests minimum up to 10 crore rupees of shares. ठीक है? Question number 18. In book building, the reservations depend upon whether the route is profitability route और the QIB route. दो route होते हैं हमारे book building process में, profitability और QIB. The question is that in case the route is profitability route, the retail individual investors should be given at least 35% and 15% of the shares can be allotted to non-institutional investors. What percentage of shares are allocated to QIB? I think यहाँ पे minimum या maximum आना चाहिए, that is missing. What maximum आएगा? What maximum percentage of shares can be allotted to QIBs? बताइए, जल्दी बताइए guys. अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. These kind of questions are asked in the exam, so if you have read it with good factual knowledge and conceptual understanding, you shall be able to answer this. The answer here is 50%. The maximum you can allocate to QIBs in case of book building under profitability route is 50%. ठीक है, समझाता हूं आपको ये थोड़ा ध्यान से. You need to remember this chart. Either the IPO comes through book building or fixed price. I hope you know this. Under book building there are two routes, profitability route and QIB route. Under fixed price there is only profitability route, only one route. If the IPO is through book building and profitability route is being followed, then the limits are retail investors should get minimum of 35%, non-institutional investors shall get minimum of 15%, and QIBs should get maximum of 50%. But if it is a book building and a QIB route, आप अगर QIB रूट और प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी रूट में डिफरेंस नहीं समझते हैं तो प्लीज इसको देखिएगा. If it is to QIB route, then it means more number of shares should be allotted to QIBs, right? So here QIBs minimum become 75%, retail investors maximum 10%, and non-institutional investors maximum 15%. ये पिक्चर याद रख लीजिए. You will be able to solve every question in the exam if it is related to shareholding allocation in book building, profitability route, QIB route, whatever it is. इससे आपके सारे क्वेश्चन आंसर हो जाएंगे। चलिए क्वेश्चन नंबर 19 निफ्टी की फुल फॉर्म पूछी है, बहुत आसान है। आई एम श्योर एवरीबॉडी इज गोना आंसर दिस। ऐसे ऐसे क्वेश्चन आपके 2 मार्कर आ जाते हैं एग्जाम में। What is the full form of Nifty? Answer National 50। बहुत आसान है, I don't think you will have any। ठीक है, Nifty stands for National 50 and it basically stands for the 50 shares that are included in the Nifty which act as a benchmark for our economy, and Sensex stands for Sensitivity Index and it has 30 shares. Nifty has 50 shares, that's why National 50, Sensex has 30 shares, remember that। चलिए क्वेश्चन नंबर 20। क्वेश्चन बहुत सिंपल है, इतना बड़ा तो मैं पढ़ता ही नहीं, एग्जाम में भी आपके ऐसे लंबे लंबे क्वेश्चन आते हैं। हाउ मेनी डिपॉजिटरीज आर प्रेजेंट इन इंडिया, और मुझे उसके नाम जरूर टाइप करके बताएं। हाउ मेनी डिपॉजिटरीज आर प्रेजेंट इन इंडिया? 1 2 3 4 5। How many depositories are present in India? In India, there are basically 2 depositories. NSDL, CDSL, याद रखना है, NSDL and CDSL। Depositories क्या होते हैं? Depositories are the entities which basically keeps our share in the dematerialized form। जो हमारे शेयर ई फॉर्म में, डीमेटीरियलाइज्ड फॉर्म में रखे जाते हैं, वो डिपॉजिटरीज के पास ही रखे जाते हैं, उन्हीं के पास वो डेटा होता है। ठीक है, NSDL एंड CDSL। NSDL स्टैंड्स फॉर नेशनल सिक्योरिटीज डिपॉजिटरी लिमिटेड, CDSL स्टैंड्स फॉर सेंट्रल डिपॉजिटरी सर्विसेज लिमिटेड। BSE हैज सम स्टेक, बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, दैट इज Sensex has stake in CDSL, and NSE, National Stock Exchange, which has basically Nifty as its benchmark index, has stake in National Securities Depository Limited। ठीक है, चलिए, stock of large companies have good business model and can generate long term profits are called as। बहुत आसान है यार ये तो। Large companies that have good business model and can generate long-term profits is called as what? Blue chip, blue shark। Oh my God, shark word अब questions में भी आने लग गए हैं। Shark Tank, आप भी एक दिन एक बड़े शार्क बने, मेरा यही दुआ है भगवान से। Blue sharks companies, blue shades companies, blue market companies, all of the above। Come on guys, come on, yes, I want everybody to participate। The answer is blue chip companies। What are blue chip companies? Yeah, blue chip companies are the ones who have good business model, less risky, good management, they have a good track record of performance and good track record on the stock exchange, that are called blue chip companies। Answer is option number A। Let's go to question number 22। Now the next set of 4-5 questions can be really challenging, but these kind of questions are going to be surely asked in the exam। तो ऐसे questions की तैयारी जरूर कर लेना। A certificate of deposit should have minimum amount of, that certificate of deposit can be issued at what minimum amount? 4 lakh, 1 lakh, 2.5 lakh, 5 lakh, or none of the above। जल्दी बताएं guys। A certificate of deposit should have a minimum amount of what? 4 lakh, 1 lakh, 2.5 lakh, 5 lakh, and none of the above। The answer is 5 lakh। ठीक है, so certificate of deposit is like a fixed deposit with the bank, it's like a time deposit, but there are a lot of differences between a fixed deposit and a certificate of deposit। The first one is is something on which the question itself is based, that the minimum amount that you can invest in the certificate of deposit of any company is rupees 5 lakh. ठीक है? You have to identify the incorrect statement. ऐसी गलती मत कीजिएगा एग्जाम में, करेक्ट की जगह इनकरेक्ट ढूंढ लें, इनकरेक्ट की जगह करेक्ट ढूंढ लें. So always read the question very carefully. You have to identify the incorrect statement and the options are on your screen. T-bills are money market instruments offered to finance the short-term obligation of the government of India. I think that's correct. There are 3 types of T-bills: 91, 172 and 364 days. T-bills are purchased for a price that are less than their par face value. T-bills are zero coupon securities. None of the above. The wrong statement, incorrect statement is option number B. This is incorrect. T-bills are issued by government to fund their short-term debt obligations. Then T-bills are like zero coupon bonds which are issued at discount to face value. 100 का है तो आपको 90 में देंगे, मेच्योरिटी पे आपको 100 मिल जाएगा, but there would not be any coupon payment. So C and D are correct. This is wrong. 91 day, 182 day and 364 days. These are the 3 values. ठीक है? So T-bills are issued with these durations: 91, 182 and 364 days. Next question. What is the minimum rating required to issue commercial paper in India? ध्यान से कीजिएगा. Even this information is having different values at different places on the RBI website. So at some places RBI website is updated, at some places the RBI website is not updated with respect to this information. What is the minimum rating required to issue CP in India? A4, A2, A3, A1, none of the above. A4, A2, A3, A1, none of the above. जल्दी जल्दी आंसर करो यार, कुछ खा के आया करो सेशन में. Be obsessive about MCQs. You should be giving your best, like you're sitting in the actual exam. ठीक है, यहां पे आंसर क्या है? व्हाट इज द मिनिमम रेटिंग टू इशू सीपी इन इंडिया? दैट इज A3. ठीक है, ऑप्शन सी. Now some people I can see they're answering it as A2. A2 is wrong. That used to be earlier. After that it has been changed to A3. At some places even on the RBI website it is still shown as A3 and A2. A3 is the actual value. At some places it is actually shown as A2 also, but that's not the correct value. The answer is A3. As per the present SEBI norms, the minimum subscription in a public issue of debt securities is specified at what percentage of the base issue size? हमारा जो इक्विटी का IPO होता है, in that the minimum subscription required is 90%. What is the minimum subscription of a debt issue? ठीक है, debt, यहां पे कीवर्ड debt है. Guys, इंटरनेट तो स्लो नहीं लग रहा है मुझे. Somebody is commenting internet is slow. I think that's working fine. Everything is in good shape. I can see comments. People are able to hear me out. But anyways, if it is slow, I beg your pardon and I request you to please adjust. कुछ ही questions रह गए हैं. The answer here is 75%. In debt it is 75%. In equity that is 90%. Remember these two figures. ठीक है. Question number 26. Strips. What is R in strips stand for? What is R in strips stand for? R in strips stands for registered. Option number E. ठीक है, I'll show you what does strip stands for. Strip stands for separate trading for registered interest and principal of securities. That is called strips. Strips मैं आपको समझा रहा हूं, ध्यान से समझिएगा. Suppose there is a bond, you buy that bond for ₹100 suppose. After that you get 10 rupees coupon payment every year. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and 5th year is the maturity when you get all your 100 back plus your 10 rupee. ठीक है. Now what will happen in strips? Listen to me carefully, very good concept. What will happen in strips, that the coupon payment that you are getting here as ₹10, they will break it and make a separate security, zero coupon security, zero coupon bond. So they will sell it to a different party. Say this is 10 rupee you will get, they will sell in ₹9, that this is a zero coupon bond, we are selling you at ₹9, and later you will get ₹10. So here the different interest payments are being broken into separate zero coupon bonds, and that is what the definition is: separate trading for registered interest and principal. तो जितनी भी interest payment थी, we have taken them out, we have sold them as different securities at zero coupon bonds. That is what is called strips. I hope you understand, not difficult. थोड़ा सा कंसेप्ट को अगर आसानी से समझ लें, it becomes really easy to understand. ठीक है. So thank you guys for being here. It was really interesting session. We had almost touched 130 plus in this session. It really gives me a kick to teach you. So let's meet tomorrow. Tomorrow is a holiday. Let's meet on Thursday with one more such session. The sessions will keep flowing. I hope you know the schedule. So we have earlier done, as part of this revision series, we have done management, we have done finance, we have done company law, finance, I repeat, as part of this revision series we have already done management, we have already done company law, and now we are doing finance. ठीक है. So on Thursday let's be more prepared with finance. Let's try to answer even more questions and let's try to gauge our preparation. ठीक है. ये बहुत सेशंस आपको हेल्प कर सकते हैं. Many of these questions might get repeated in the exam also. So thanks for being there. Thanks for putting your answers on the chat box. Thanks for putting so many likes for this session. अगर like नहीं किया है तो like कर दीजिए. We would be really motivated to take such sessions even with increased frequency in future. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Like जरूर कीजिएगा और कोई भी फीडबैक है तो मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में जरूर बताइएगा.